Hello Deacons Quorum parents and young men. We're really excited about this Friday and our first backpacking experience, meaning that we are not going to be taking any of our fancy cooking ware and gear, but anything we can pack on our own two legs. We're going to take up to the campground and spend a night. Now, if you're nervous about that and you've never done it before, I guarantee and I want to promise you that we're going to make sure you're totally prepared for the camp out. That's why I'm making this video. And between Brother Gifford, Brother Netsley, and myself, we got you covered. One of the reasons that we do these kinds of campouts, any campout really, is it is meant to put us in a position where we're maybe slightly out of our comfort zone, and it is an opportunity for us to learn something new. It's also, though we don't plan these sorts of things, something always goes awry, and that also calls on us to be a little resourceful and problem solving, and those are all really good things. The things that we bring to the table are what we learned during our scouting careers, which of course the church doesn't do scouting anymore, but the same principles apply, and we will bring everything. Between the three of us, we're all Eagle Scouts, and this is something that we've done a number of times. Let's start off with where the camp actually is, and for that I'm going to show you out of our trusty Cache Trails handbook. This is a book you can get at the Sportsman on Main Street. It's got all the trails that you'd find on like the All Trails app, but it's also got detailed descriptions of ones you might not find on All Trails, and I'm going to show you the one we're looking at doing. So the trail that we're looking at is up Birch Creek Canyon, so not too far. So we start our hike, which is a pretty good 7% grade, so not too steep, and 2.5 miles in. I actually just did this one on Friday with Sarah, and if she can do it, you boys can do it. 2.5 miles in is where you hit the Mount Naomi Wilderness, the official wilderness, and there's already kind of a pre-made fire pit and some logs and open spaces to put down tents or hammocks. And from there, we'll leave these plans a little bit open, but there's another 4 miles in. You'd actually get all the way up to Flat Top Peak, which we can all see from here, and it's going to be a really cool view if we make it up there. Really just depending on the stamina the boys are feeling, but up until this point you've carried your pack, and at this point we would just walk up with like our water. But remains to be seen if we actually end up doing this or if we just do part of this. And if we do this in the morning, we'd probably wake up early, come back down, and then we'd hike all the way back down. So all in all, it's going to be a pretty good trip. Brother Netsley is looking into doing a flag retiring, so that could be a really cool thing we might do right before the camp or maybe up there. Now, let's talk about the gear. So right here behind me, I have a pretty standard, we call an internal pack. They have what are called external frames. I don't have an example here, but this is what most people are carrying now. They're just like squishy backpacks. And you've got your hood. You've got your main pocket. You stick all your stuff. You have a bottom access pocket here too, where you can get to the bottom of things. And then you got some pockets here on the side that you can put things like your water bottle in. There are a couple of different options for water. Is you could bring your own like Camelback, and you can wear this underneath your backpack so you can just sip on water as you're walking around. However, you don't have to have one of those. In fact, sometimes it's easier not to, and you just bring your own water bottle, stick it into the side sleeve, and you're good to go. Now there's two types of mess kits that you can bring. You have this more traditional looking one. Popping it open, it turns into two pans. Hey Tom, just filming. Then you've got your internal pot, usually with some kind of a cup for drinking out of. And this pot's what you're going to use for boiling water, which we'll talk about in a sec. But it all comes together pretty nicely into your kit with some silverware, and they're pretty fancy. Now another great option is this mess kit that I found on Amazon. It's come with this cool little carrying case. Okay, you've also got your pot, little pot, your big pot, and kind of this larger thermos that you're going to use for like hot chocolate and your warm beverages. Inside comes something that I'll show a little bit later, and this is a burner. okay? And the burner is pretty great. I actually have a handful of these, just standalone burners. But what you do here is these little guys come out, okay? These little feet pop out, and this is where you're going to put your pop when it's all said and done, where you put your hot water, it sits there and boils it. Now, the end of this pops onto a propane canister. What's cool that comes in these is a little stand you can put, because usually you're putting these things on kind of uneven ground, but you can put this little canister on the ground like this. And I'll show you in a second, but all we take is a match, turn this thing on, and voila, you've got your own heat source with your own water, and you get to make awesome food. Now, either one of these mess kits works. Again, I'm going to bring some extra burners, but if you get your own, that's great too. If you don't have one of these, don't sweat it. I've got plenty. Not every boy needs one. We can share. Next part of your gear. Let's talk about what you're going to wear. T-shirts just fine. You're going to want to wear long pants with comfortable tennis shoes. They don't have to be like special hiking boots. Tennis shoes do just fine. You're going to want to have a sweater, not for necessarily cold. I know how macho some of you boys are, just to keep the bugs out. Really from 8 to 8:30 is when you're going to have most mosquito bites. So bring a sweater, bring some long pants. You can avoid all of that. A hat would also be advised. I'm also going to have some of these cooling rags. So it's really great because we have quite a few river crossings that come up in this trail. And so it's great. You can just douse this into the water, wrap it around your neck like so. Keeps you nice and cool. I love these things. I'll have some of these, but you can find these on Amazon. Cooling rags, hiking rags, something like that. And as always, extra change of clothes, particularly socks. Like I said, there's some river crossings. I bet my house one of these is going to fall in. It's not dangerous, it's just cold and wet. And it can cause blisters. So socks are going to be really, really helpful. Extra pair of pants and underwear would not hurt as well. The other thing I'll have you make sure you bring is a black trash bag, because again, some of these I can't even get across using a variety of rocks and sticks. Like you just have to kind of shuffle along. Trash bag might work. I actually haven't tried it, but I think it'll work. Bring a black trash bag. We're going to figure something out and it'll be fine. Now, sleeping gear. There's two types of sleeping bags. Well, they're both mummy bags, but this would be considered a summer sleeping bag. It's like, well, it says right there, for like 50-degree weather, which we'll probably have. This is for like sub-zero weather. It's okay, you can bring either one of these. It's more for comfort. This one's slightly heavier and bulkier, but in the end it's not going to make a big difference. What's great to have, but not totally necessary, is a sleeping pad. When I was a youth, I didn't really bring a sleeping pad. My sleeping bag was enough, but if you'd like to sleep a little more comfortably, or you think you will, bring one of these guys and stuff it in your bag. Two ways you can be sleeping. There are 2 to 3 man tents. These are pretty light and carryable. We're going to stick them to either the top or the bottom of your packs using the over buckles to attach it. Not every boy is going to have to carry one of these because again they're 2 to 3 men. So we can swap out halfway in the hike, give everyone a chance to carry it, share the load so to speak. Or if you like to try something a little bit different but just as fun, you can get you can pick up at Al's one of these sweet little Grand Trunk hammocks. And if you get a hammock, you're going to want these straps, these like extenders that allow you to hook into a variety of trees if you want to try doing hammocks. Now, of course, you're going to want a flashlight. Headlamps are probably better. Flashlights work too. Make sure you bring an extra set of batteries, either AA, AAA, just check which ones you need. And I put them in a Ziploc bag because of the things that you don't want to get wet. Batteries are among them. The other thing you don't want to get wet is your own set of matches. These are great, they're cheap. You can get them over at Lee's. They have their own little striker on the back of them. And all you got to do is pinch these together. And voila, you've got your match. And that's all you're going to need to get your burners cooking and get that nice hot food. Guarantee you're going to want is some of this bug repellent. It is, again, I don't think there's too many bugs out right now, but where we're camping is right next to the river. and you're going to get some mosquitoes. And again, that 8 to 8:30 is a problem. This is a giant can, by the way. I'll bring it just in case. If you guys have your own smaller cans, you can find those again at the local hardware store. All right, let's talk food. So you're going to bring your own water. We have our own filtration system that we're going to show you how to use. Among the other things you're going to bring, granola bars, snacks, whatever garbage you guys like to eat. We'll provide these Mountain House meals, and they're pretty sweet. I've got beef stroganoff, and I'm sure it's just as good as any beef stroganoff you've ever had. But all you have to do is you bring to boiling some water in your canister, dump it in here, seal it up for like 5 minutes, let it all percolate in the bag, and by the end, you've got your beef stroganoff. And you can use your utensils that come with your mess kit. Just a couple of honorable mentions. We're probably not going to need these warmers because it is June. It's pretty warm outside. But these are always nice to have. I would also encourage bringing maybe some kind of a beanie. That's usually where all the heat leaves your head. Your mummy bags do a good job, but if you sleep pretty cold at night, put a beanie on. That'll keep you nice and warm. And finally, we could come into weather. Sometimes you get these freakish rainstorms that just hit in the mountains. Always smart to have a poncho in your packs. Finally, I just want you to know we are very, very excited to have your boys on these campouts. Part of what these are meant to do is to put us in a little bit uncomfortable, unknown situations. And that's important because as your parents and as your leaders, we all know that life is full of uncomfortable experiences. But those uncomfortable experiences become really neat and amazing and memorable experiences later on. And I think that's what we're going to have on Friday. We look forward to having you there. This Thursday night at 8 o'clock, I want you to bring, if you already have your stuff, bring it by my house. We'll just set it right here in my garage, have it ready to go on Friday. If you're missing items, please don't hesitate to reach out. We definitely have gear. We have extra packs, gear, anything that we can lend to your son. Can't wait to see you on the camp out, and happy trails.
You will? Mom,
I'm putting that part in.
that was